every a year plane crash arehosemi so na yakopi mu nsem foforo so a one major issue was sabri amanfo ni di echipa recruitment ekoso with the various security services no emu na sa recruitment no e dey nsem bebre aba right from the failure of the aptitude test any ade na ene nsem wa eba ne chese mampani John Dramani Mahama wa free emergency meeting with immediate effect wakasa de afa recruitment no who release ni ade aba answer na no Chris what is happening? Why did the president call for an emergency meeting?
The bashing was too much.
Okay.
Among for the donor started bashing the government. Say
over
mo buy employment once my baby be for ejuma ana emebunu ko pay recruitment ya ho amanfo afamu ahwere wo mo nkwa.
Okay.
Na yenko wiese no onipa over 500,000 let's say move 5,000 pen more for there na yes money enkra na ni niye people are still waiting say yebeka say omo koto forms near they are refunding amomo people are still waiting they want to hear the president say something about yesika tua na ekomu amanfo sika omatua they koto forms knowing very because all for nipa 5,000 abi anko afa ye bia 7,000 8,000 normal but a 100,000 cry asem a hoping 500,000. A lot of people are talking. And I think say amo kasa eba abanechi mebunu adwuma unemployment na ade omo ba ban mu omo ane afa omo say ye kwati kwan so enye kwati kwan so at least you could have found a way to maintain these people and make sure say all their credentials are good. Ba mo ba ye omo free ho ene ade na say still na bi mu kopebi na say mo be ye omo say ya you know omo ani nje ho. And a man for Kasaye, they bashed the government. Then probably President John Dramani Mahama who say a necessary so be emergency meeting. Now obe address I'm my say yes we BMT. I think say we'll go through what came out of the meeting here. Say akosi saying almost 500,000 in na and answer omo fa saying because I say no get here about 500,000 no or see a chem maybe we
have the press release from the presidency the better screens so de amamo na yashimu into way back from the presidency communications or say President Mahama directs expansion of security services recruitment international say President John Dramani Mahama akasa say mebuno ayefa omo akọ police nipso jane the other security ejumekuo no emunu yembiemu inti yebiemu akosi hene yenhwe o say President John Dramani Mahama has held a high level meeting with the heads of security agencies, Minister for the Interior and Acting Minister for Defense on the ongoing security services recruitment process. Inti echwema mampani wone empanimfo a womo ededa the various security services nano police, military, fire service, immigration omunyina ene afein so the Minister for Interior Ramuntaka ena the Acting Minister for Defense atoforsen oni omashia a omo edi nkomo. Now was following a briefing on the process, the president has directed that the number of men and women to be recruited to the various security agencies should be increased from 20,000 to 40,000 over a 4-year period into a chema kaneno na womo chema afe bako enai no nipa dodo a womo betimi afa womo security services ni mu within 4 years no 20,000 into womo edikan 5,000 na che say the 3 years na aka no so won beche ne 5,000 nti ye beka bebo mu no na ye dru 20,000 no eno mu chem say mampania kire mu a yentum na yemfa nko 40,000 and say they call 40,000 there that means approximately no times 2 and say if they are going to take 5,000 for this year maybe we'll see them taking like 10,000 for this year. Yes, and oba say I will say the president has also directed the heads of security agencies to ensure transparency and fairness in the recruitment process into yema no credit enye adwuma ewo recruit na wo no emo say present at the meeting were the Chief of Staff, Secretary to the President, Senior Presidential Advisor on Governmental Affairs, National Security Coordinator, Inspector General of Police, Director General Prisons, Director General Fire Service, Comptroller General of Ghana Immigration Service, and Director General of the Narcotics Control Commission. Inti saa mpanimfo we mu enso kopie mu wo meeting no ase say there we are looking at 10,000 people being recruited for this year 2026, and subsequently another 10,000, another 10,000, another 10,000 spread between a period of 4 years. Inti we ni nsemo a abetodwa yera Felix Kwachifusu wo no ene yo kasama for edema mampani wo sign minister oswafo a wo hwe government communication ya ban ama ne bo ho ensem eso. Inti say should the Ghanaian youth be jubilating about this and I say enko baby
well, the number of forms or moton here and the number of slots are available for the people say omo ebetimi enyamu kwan no o check here difference nation.
Okay.
Difference nation
50,000, 500,000.
500,000 10,000
yeah. Still now you think the refunding should go?
You see what people are is because you see more than can they about to any say facility ni ho I mean the funds are not there. See e be to amoka because a chairman say no get be to just say ye hwe your cofex mu a nipa dodo say na e form e betimi atu omoka. As we are speaking now facilities are available on betimi akoye adwuma wo ho ne points a betimi de o ma ye adwuma e wo ha on betimi aye 5,000 na e ka ho asem no.
Okay.
Enti I mean what people are expecting currently, and it's a president will talk about the fact that the number of forms that were sold not a dozen. Because online, anybody can get access to it. You just have to pay and get access to it. People were rushing. I'm sure they knew people will rush and go and buy the forms.
Yeah.
What is happening? What is the president going to tell those people? And somebody no baby saw more after one. I say, son, I was say, you better forms and you probably be able to be now or ya fuck crabby because your better forms be I will expect say a better friend for initial stages of I mean the recruitment. And see, say na mo be no because nyina de ahokyere bia ne say ebi mu ko free mu yaya yi. And see say sika na mo agigi ni nyina the minority is calling for refund at least. Say more for 10,000. They say I say could do 10,000 put and come for na mo ton ebia 25,000 and 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 be cry and Kenya she. But a whooping 500,000 plus 17,000 that's no cry a different thing. It is here what people are expecting because 10,000 a day it is not making any difference out of the 500,000. But what people are expecting is that the president say something about what the minority was requesting. Are they going to refund? And I say, you better be before be add some of them to I mean some obey and be because security service there can you you see as at now people don't understand why they are still selling forms because obiko pay juma or Bank of Ghana you write your application if you qualify any foul they won't say it's better forms all these government institutions oko pay juma or on top forms. But security service no ti anya ye kra sabe bibi betimi a wo training kra bi mu famu ehwere o mo nkwan nyina obi mutimi yare training time ni ade the kind of stress you go through before you pass out na ya ceremony amount no stress people are sacrificing but then you still want to take money from these people when they talk about how much they were paying for medicals. So what people are expecting is not the number na increase sikana omujiji ni bebre no eno den be afa ho.
Okay, ebusia na chese otimi say most people are really concerned about the number of forms that were sold but the number of slots that are out. Very very sad. Now abaya ni din ede promise yaera ansani oye abaya wedding finchia edu no 20 years ni phone ne da screens ne so na busia me no ka say de cyber vetting and enforcement team o makwa akochi ababa we say social media no is powerful kwotena na akotwocho nsem na enye no kra wa so be hye obebusa sa abaya ede no ye ne oye nyina ne say what the Uber driver be phone ni details akoto ne Snapchat so and I watch him say Uber driver no killer we wudini and now we say and we say na wode kwato honom no na kyese Uber driver no nso nebusuani na ofa ase ko hu ya ono nso koma report say will be a publicize false details about him affected nejuma into we this is the Uber driver no ne din de Salasi Kweku na nimfoni na wo so honom say NB, this is the poster. On Snapchat. And it was say NB, if you ever book a ride and you see this man, please cancel. He is a killer and a thief. He will tell you to cancel the ride and made it an offline trip. Then he will call his colleagues and tell them he's bringing goods and the goods is you. And to a chemwa, o poster adere no cho was say Uber driver we ya. Order Uber now who anymore ya don't fairness and order because oye wudini or sign a chrome for so far or beka say dum wo location ni baby a wo kɔ ne sesa no na on fa on kɔ ube wan say wa frɛ obi e wo phone so no aka kyom say or the neema no or the yeden or the eba say he won't even speak English na just say brofo kra de on ka bi obeka a friend is saying aigbe no kan igbe na wa man kofo na wo a utika ni mu na nya de abeden obeti ase and so by the time you realize no na or the wo kwakoye de opese or the wo ye so at this point this is what Yaira eco posti ye e social media page no eso a create a whole lot of conversations not just to say amount for bebre follow into cyber vetting and enforcement team no and woman so report about arrest ababetu muchum say for immediate release cyber vetting arrest promise Yaira Asamani for false publication on social media. The Inspector General of Police, Cyber Vetting and Enforcement Team, has arrested 20-year-old Promise Yaira Asamani for publishing false news on social media. And said they can and some more they call to social media and not any no cray. Or see on Wednesday, 11th March 2026, Salasi Kweku Antonio, a 43-year-old Uber driver, reported to the Cyber Vetting and Enforcement Team regarding a viral Snapchat post. The post, which featured his photograph and a vehicle registration number AD147925, falsely labeled him a murderer and a thief. It further alleged that he uses signal jammers to disconnect passengers' network connectivity and also carried offensive weapons into a trema. And someone Yaira Troy and Ochoya Kokam say Antonio Salasi or a near bia ukotana ni kan nima ubewan se wo network no enye adwuma biem na osanso ewo weapons ni ade ti se sikan ni ade hammer ni ade gu eye ni car boot no emo. I say according to the complaint, he became aware of the post on 10th March 2026 at about 14:57 hours. That's Rianum Hobeye 2 p.m. no ena uhuye after being elected by his nephew Godsway Tete. Inti obiweka say na 43 years the Snapchat fan ho ben ye chemu a ono ana wo fa say na ede amanebo no ebren say o mehwe dia ekoso e was Snapchat. So following the viral speed so that is a year in some asabre there a year the cyber vetting and enforcement team for no edibeto and mountain so into shall say following the viral spread the complainant received numerous distressing calls from family and customers. Subsequently, Uber blocked his account, depriving him of his livelihood. He also expressed significant fear for his life due to the risk of public hostility. International Chema and some started saying high social media no esono and Uber phone so blocking the account because once you are being tagged as a killer and a murderer, no now who say baby I didn't ekako enono and a ban so juma no you are blocking the account juma na when you be cried the edidi and our face one nama na ne yem ehye no esan say ohun say ebinom betumi ayeden ato ahye ne so ene ade a e ma ne di mrika ede America tenten eko the cyber vetting and enforcement team no ehonom with regards to the publication obi aye ede afa omo eho obi aye de afa omo ho said be ya omo betimi ahwe biribi aye ede afa. Now also investigations by the cyber vetting and enforcement team led to the arrest of Stephanie Asmini, a sister of Promise Yaira Asmini, on Friday 13th March 2026 at her residence in Cambodia, Spintex, Accra. Into omutrema nsem ne koso no ena omonsa ekoso Yaira ni nuaba ye friend Stephanie emu. Now say during the interrogation, Stephanie indicated that on 9th March 2026 at about 14:00 hours, she booked a ride from Spintex to Oyibi with complainant as the driver. Shortly after starting, the driver requested her to change the drop-off location to a nearby destination so that he could go off trip. During the trip, the driver made a call in Ewe stating, "I am bringing the goods to the location, so wait." According to Stephanie, she observed a rag and a hammer in the boot area of the car, and further stated that the driver suddenly stopped at the Toyota Motors runabout, and that resulted in a verbal altercation. So she exited the vehicle into Mutrema. Ebra Stephanie and the nipa na okofa eye Uber no. Ofa Uber no ena Uber driver ne kache ne say baby a ode share say okọ no onyin free honom na obekwa akosi no do say omunyin free app no so say the be app no en track owie ye no ena oye call na ne call na no ye oka eye awuna kasa na ya egbe no ena ochem say ode eye enioma ne ye den eba ntinipa ne entwen no. And Stephanie say ohwe boot ni mu no ohun rag ene hammer ewo boot no emu. Afi omukọ kakra kodru Toyota Motors runabout honom no ena driver ne ejinaye ena fe ede eye mentime ho ase bae a ono de osifri car ne mu ekoye. Ose when she got home, Stephanie narrated the incident to her sisters and sent a screenshot of the driver's profile to her young sister, Promise Yaira Asmini. On 11th March 2026, Stephanie discovered the story had been posted on Snapchat. When confronted, Promise claims she published the details to create awareness. Into a trema 11th March after incident nesino eno de Uber driver ne profile ne ade ema ne nua ketwa ena ne nua ketwa no ena Yaira no ena Yaira nso de ade ne koto Snapchat say o man kofo ada omo ho so say bibi say ena ekoso. Further investigation confirmed that Promise Yaira Asmini authored the post, which explicitly labeled the driver as a killer. Suspect Promise Yaira Asmini failed to honor an official police investigation on 12 March 2026, leading to her arrest on Saturday 11th March 2026. Internet say okotro yede driver ni picture koto ni Snapchat no. De ko wie ya ne say wose driver ni no wudini. Enti eno ena sabre de ohaw eba ya na enam so ema womo etimi eko chin. Enti na say ensemo a efri cyber vetting and enforcement for no no eba no. Now omunsem into aso eni osi during interrogation she admitted the post was based solely on her sister's narrative and that she had no evidence to substantiate the allegations against the driver. She has since been granted police inquiry bail today, 16th March 2026, as investigation continues. The police take this opportunity to caution the general public against publishing false news, since that is against the laws of Ghana. Na chese asemu huye mpenipa onipa ene pene ho asem obi abeka na asem akere wa also simi create awareness and say 20 years old wama sabredi police for ensa aso nimu. Now amanfo are talking about the fact that we've seen people publish a whole lot of false news about people. Why is this person's own different? Because as a and say chimko because of false news is this something new that is now coming up?
Well, Yentiming said it's something new. I mean, it's been going on. If you publish false news, and then on this particular one, we're talking about life and death.
Okay.
What I say, so be kum nipa no so kum nipa so kum nipa. I mean, how will you know? All of a sudden you took to social media. But then, we hear omo incidents here. One, between like I said, communication was lost. Say omo etimi communicate here, and I don't think Senka will get here because Uber driver no one communicate here. The communication now make can say omo pesade no. Obi oho etimi kofo obi niema. Okoye delivery o. Onti wo hwa e ho no. Baby okọ no. O delivery no okoye na ebi okoye delivery no we bi a Spintex a. Maybe on so circular. Now I said that ye ne pick up no and as baby person the destination what or their two Spintex area ho. Enti almost will be requested ya nipa okọ around Spintex no na aba ne ho no apeke. Enti along the line definitely nipa na also de ne nemagu car ni ma ode kwa akoma no. Ebi abefre no. What I say? Obefre na ka chense o me de wo nema na eba. Enti won so coincidentally Opesa osisi Uber for and I mean say Uber whether it's Bolt or whatever. Opesa osisi o ma oni omo ye adwuma nti. Also will call offline because sika no dawson. Or say they were moving from Spintex to Oyarefa. Oyibi, sorry, Oyibi. Uzemuwa.
Yeah.
Enti opesa o call offline so that ni commission obetu ama Bolt ni omo oni omo ye adwuma no beba form. What I say? Enti no ne kasa say oh or any or near maybe waha or be say or the ma obi waha say near to us so they are ebi anka lady no beti ase. Na lady no so or senka or you should have drink akra because nipa no the person is an ever. Na so uhu hama won the cage ebi or part-time carpenter. What I say uhu hama won nipa na cage ebi a o we boat na wa kope baby abobo near mamu kakra or part-time carpenter. So you can all of a sudden conclude nipa no ebe kunkum nipa ne ade.
Okay.
Coincidentally ebi our network so nye. Baby amoko fire no network ateko ne ade. And you see it was a whole lot of but then obi ankasa no bedwen. What I say but who nipa no ewi ase yehu. Now so ye be kan asem no kire wa onkwa na nim typing.
Awareness creation
No. And na me ehu say wo type ne ma kogu social media na nya no kra. You bet me hatch what say our my awareness me no than I say.
So that is a year and some was about beto happen. So now you be free this particular issue about the arrest any